What's good, boy dudes and boy dudettes? And today we have got the second Naruto movie, Legend of the Stone of Gelel. And this movie is a 2005 Japanese animated film based on Masahiro Kishimoto's manga and anime franchise, written by Hirotsugi Kawasaki and Yuki Miyata. It was released in theaters in Japan on August 6, 2005, and unlike the first movie, this movie became a direct-to-video film in the US instead of kind of like premiering in the cinemas, like having that limited release in the cinemas. And it then aired on Cartoon Network in 2008 and DVD in 2009. And this film, even though all these films are filler movies, if you want to be accurate, it is set after episode 160 in the original Naruto series. And what is this film about? Well, while Naruto, Shikamaru, and Sakura are on a mission to recover a lost pet ferret, they are attacked by armed warriors as well as a mysterious knight named Temujin. And after a short battle, both Naruto and Temujin are blasted off near a cliff, and they pretty much find themselves with this like moving caravan people. Then the caravan dudes are like kind of like attacked, and then they find themselves in this like kind of like special like building place where Naruto meets Temujin's master, and his master basically tells him that he needs to use this special mineral called the Gelel Stone, which has a strong and mysterious power, and he wants to use this stone to create a utopia for the world. However, when dark secrets and lies are revealed about the stone and certain characters' past, can Naruto and his friends try and save the day? Well, I'll let you find that out. And let's talk about the good of this movie. And I've got some mixed aspects of this film, but let's just go into the talking about the good. And the good of this film, I have to admit, I do quite like seeing the Naruto gang in this film. I also just like seeing Gaara as well. Gaara and what's his face, Kankuro, kind of make like a little guest appearance in this film, and even though they're not in it as much, they still do steal them film for me, to be honest with you. Gaara's in like the first 5 minutes of this film, kind of battling these like monster guys who are kind of created by the Temujin's master, and the battle was pretty amazing. And even though Gaara isn't in this film as much, every single time he's in it, he just kind of steals the scene for me. And Naruto, he's an oddball, you know, he's your typical Naruto. I mean, what much I can tell about Naruto. Naruto, Sasuke, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Sakura are all them characters, you know. Honestly, let's talk about many of the movie characters of this movie. And you got Temujin, and Temujin is this, as I said, mysterious knight. And Temujin basically is this kind of like dude who was kind of brought in by his master after his entire village was destroyed. And his like master kind of like, you know, brings him in. He kind of like kind of raises him as his own child, and yeah. And then there's like secrets and lies about his character's past, which is kind of interesting, but I won't spoil too much about it. And yeah, the animation is okay, I have to admit, but interesting aspects of the film is the use of like certain ninjutsu and, you know, techniques. Like there's an interesting what's that jutsu called? Genjutsu. When it's used on one of the characters, which is quite interesting. I mean, the way they stylized that Genjutsu technique was really amazing. I quite like the colors in that scene, and just certain like aspects of certain characters' fighting styles are kind of altered in this movie. For instance, Gaara's like kind of like sand techniques are very stylized in this movie, and they're very more dramatic compared to like the anime TV series fighting styles. And I have to admit, I kind of like that. Naruto obviously is got his like typical Rasengan technique, and it looks cool, but it is what it is. And you're probably wondering why I'm not praising this movie as much. And honestly, there's not much to praise about this film, because from the time I watched this movie for the first time, even until now, I still am not a fan of this film. And for me, it is the plot. I mean, oh, what can I say? The plot is just very cliched, and it's very, oh, it's really boring, I have to admit. The thing with this movie is that it's only 97 minutes long, but it kind of goes on for too long, especially towards the end. I don't know why, but this film just goes on. Like the final like kind of boss fight just kind of drags on for way too long, and I have to admit I was really bored watching it. The whole plot involving the crystal is just kind of half-assed. It's like this half-assed plot that they just made up, and honestly, it just doesn't even feel like it's connected to the Naruto universe. With the Land of Snow, I can actually be like, okay, I feel like that movie connected to the Naruto universe, even though it was a filler. But this movie, in my opinion, didn't really feel that connected. It kind of felt like something else entirely, in my opinion. It kind of reminded me of the movies Tale from Earthsea and Laputa, involving these crystal gems and just power and all that. And oh yeah, speaking about power, let's talk about the villain. I will admit the villain is a little better than the first movie villain. He has a slightly interesting character design, and obviously his motivation is to create this utopia, but that is just a front, because his true goals are revealed later on. And I would spoil it, but I'm not that sad of a bastard to spoil it. So I'm going to let you watch the film to see for yourself. And I have to admit, this twist did kind of surprise me, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of did like his original plan with him actually wanting to build a utopia. That made sense. It's like he was saying how war is just so bad, and just, people are suffering, and he doesn't want that. His plan is kind of similar to Madara's plan in a way, where he just wants a world where no one is suffering. And I have to admit, I thought that was a pretty good plan until the twist came, and I was like, oh no, oh no. But honestly, this movie isn't that great either. Even the visual look isn't that impressive compared to the Land of Snow movie. It is definitely one of the weaker Naruto movies, to be honest with you, and it does go into your kind of like, it's kind of that typical shonen movie, plots, and you know where it's gonna go, you know where it's gonna end. And honestly, with that said, this movie, has its moments, but overall the writing is really all over the place. And with that, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10, and I'm going to give it a C-. I mean, you can go check this film out if you're curious, and I'd check it out, I mean, if you want to watch it. But personally, this is the movie I'd skip out of all the Naruto films. And with that said, thank you for watching this review. Please like and share this video, comment down below and tell me what's your favorite Naruto movie. With that said, thank you for watching. Boruto signing out.